He panicked and threw the monster aside, but the monster immediately charged at another teammate. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the captain kicked it into a pole. Little did they know that the horror was just beginning. Sensing the death of their fellow creature, the swarm of magic spiders deep in the cave instantly rushed out of the cave walls like crazy. Everyone was so scared that they immediately raised their guns and fired. However, the number of magic spiders was simply too great, and the bullets couldn't stop them at all. In the blink of an eye, one team member was completely covered by magic spiders. Seeing this, the captain tried to rush forward to rescue him, but only managed to pull out half a piece of his remains. Seeing that staying any longer would result in everyone being eaten, they had no choice but to attack, while retreating deeper into the cave. But one of them had short legs and couldn't run fast. By the time the others turned back to help him, he had emerged from the shadows covered in blood. At this point, there wasn't a single piece of intact skin left on his body. He then fell directly into the abyss. At the same time, a strange howl echoed through the air. The three of them finally realized that there was an underground palace behind them, and now the entrance was occupied by the demon spiders. The three had no choice but to continue inward. Little did they know that the true horror lay within. Perhaps because of their approach, the magic spiders, which had previously dared not approach the underground palace, began to chase after them once more, and this time the magic spiders were larger and more ferocious. They covered each other as they made their way toward the underground palace, but the number of magic spiders was simply too great, and the three quickly ran out of ammunition. One of their teammates was also knocked down by the monsters, and instantly became their prey. In the end, only Jenny and the captain remained. The two of them ran toward the underground palace with all their might, accompanied by the rattling of chains. A strange low growl came from deep within the underground palace once again, as if calling the two of them over. Jenny subconsciously sensed that something was wrong. She wanted to turn around and leave, but the captain seemed to be possessed, walking inside with a vacant expression. No matter how much Jenny shouted, the captain paid no attention. Jenny had no choice but to follow him inside. What they saw next was a scene they would never forget. A massive monster was bound by chains. It opened the dozens of compound eyes on its head. With a piercing scream, the two were instantly overcome with pain. In a daze, they seemed to see the demon gods past. As the demonic voice fell, the captain slowly got up and grabbed a grenade heading toward the chains. Jenny immediately tried to stop him, but the captain had already been controlled by the demon god, and was determined to release it at all costs. At that critical moment, Jenny had no choice but to shoot him dead. She then turned and fired wildly at the demon god, but how could mortal weapons possibly harm him? And as the two locked eyes, Jenny was gradually being controlled by him as well. The scene shifted, and Jenny was walking alone under the setting sun. At this point, she had already escaped the underground palace and returned to the outside world, but her eyes had been brutally gouged out. To avoid being seduced by the demon god and releasing it, she had directly gouged out her own eyes, to break free from its control.